Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So today we got some Ereck Flowers news, Brandon Sheriff news, and also some Austin Hooper news. Also, I'm going to be doing some targets for left tackle to replace Trent Williams if he gets traded. So if you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content and turn the notifications on. So let's get started. So Ian Rappaport reported on March 6th that the Redskins are still in contract extension or contract talks with Brandon Sheriff. They're trying to get a long-term deal done to try not to franchise tag him. It was reported earlier that he was franchise tagged, or they were planning to, but now they're still trying to get a deal done. If the CBA gets approved, I think it's the deadline for the players to vote is this Thursday. So once that happens, I think you'll see a lot of deals all over the NFL starting to go through and more extensions being done. So hopefully we can get a deal with Sheriff because he is one of the better guards in the league. You can say he's one of the probably top five, definitely, in my opinion. So, and you, even though he's not necessarily the best guard in the league, you can argue he is. You can argue he isn't. If you think he isn't, you can't. He's still gonna get paid the highest paid guard in the league because if you're one of the best players at your position, when you go to free agency, you're gonna get paid because the market resets every year. So he's gonna get paid no matter where he goes, and I think it's gonna be around. I think 15 mil a year would be good. I think if we can get him for like 13 and a half this year and then like 15 and a half going forward for the next few years to even it out, that would be nice because like I said before in many other videos, the cap is increasing it's increasing a bit for this season, but the year after that in 2021, it's going to go up $40 million. So a contract with Brandon Sheriff that's going to be like 16 in 2021, 16 million in 2021. It's really like 13 or 14 million in today's salary cap. So I think we should be patient with this, try to get a decent deal, and reduce it from that 16 mil because if we can get it down, that frees up a little space, more space for us to spend in free agency. So anywhere from that 14 to high 15 mil per year, even maybe 16 mil would be fine. But we just got to get them back and also get Ereck Flowers back. So yeah, that's the news for Brandon Sheriff. Expect free agency officially starts like when you can sign the players is March 18th, but March 16th is when you're gonna start hearing where players are going because that's when legal tampering starts. So now to the Ereck Flowers news. The Redskins or Ron Rivera said that they're going to try to re-sign both free agent guard Ereck Flowers and Brandon Sheriff. We know that. He said he's hopeful to figure out their offensive line, but expects 4 of the 5 returning starters, while Trent Williams remains a looming question. Trent Williams is most likely, I'd say 90% chance he's getting traded. So that's where we got to get a replacement. But Ereck Flowers is most likely getting re-signed for about 6 to 9 million per year. Also, stay tuned. Got some Austin Hooper news at the end of the video. But last season he played about 937 snaps and only allowed 2 sacks. So he played very, very, very well, and we can probably get him for pretty cheap because he only had one good year. So other teams aren't necessarily familiar with him, so they might not be willing to give as much money. The only team that I think could potentially try to get more money out of him is the Browns. They do have some decent guards, but Bill Callahan was his coach here and his offensive line coach, so he might want to get him. But besides that, I think we can get him for about $7 million in it per year, hopefully around that range, because he in only one half a season of playing, because he only started playing guard right before the season started, where he transitioned from tackle to guard. Like he started off the off season in tackle and then he got switched over to guard. And it takes a while when you're switching positions in the offensive line. So he played very well overall. and if you take into consideration that he never played guard before, or at least never played guard in the NFL, that's very good. I think he can be one of the best guards in the NFL if he stays consistent and stays healthy. What I would try to propose to him is like a 3-year, 2 million dollar deal. So that's about a little more than 7, with up to like $30 million in incentives. So like do some certain incentives like how many sacks he allows, how many games he plays, so that if he does become elite, he's not getting severely underpaid, and it'll ensure him that he'll get some money if he plays good and stays healthy. So that would be my plan for him. Yeah, a lot of people have reported that he's most likely coming back. Julie Donaldson said that a couple uh, weeks ago. Also on JP Finley's podcast, he said that the Redskins will heavily pursue Austin Hooper. Said he's going to be looking at $11 million per year. That's what he wants. Might get a little more, maybe a little less. And he said that that's their main target. If I were the Redskins, that would be my main target too. Our tight end group is so bad, probably the worst in the league with Hale Henches and Jeremy Sprinkle. So you got to try to get Austin Hooper there. If we get a David Njoku trade going, if we can get him out of the Browns, then maybe you don't go after Austin Hooper, and instead you keep David Njoku, who did have a good year in 2018 because last year he was hurt the whole year. If we can get him, we can maybe draft someone in the 4th round to complement him, and we don't have to spend big money on Austin Hooper. But besides that situation, I really want to try to get Austin Hooper. Very young, very productive, and has been healthy. So I'm going to do my potential left tackle targets that we can try to pursue if Trent Williams gets traded, which is most likely going to happen, like I said. So number 1, I've said this a lot of times in other videos, is Kelvin Beachum, left tackle from the Jets, is a free agent. Played very good in the last few years. Last year he played very good, didn't allow many sacks, and I think he made $9 million this year. So we can get him for cheaper than Trent Williams was wanting, and he's obviously not going to be as good as Trent Williams was, but he's going to be an above average to good left tackle, and he's probably one of the better ones on the market. Guys, also, I will be posting a Redskins Dream offseason video tomorrow, most likely, so that's going to be all the best targets we can get and the draft stuff, so stay tuned for that. So next target is Dennis Kelly. He's a tackle and also can play guard sometimes. Played for the Titans. Would be a possible good replacement for Trent Williams. Isn't amazing, but is definitely better than Donald Penn. But if we get Dennis Kelly, it would buy us a little time to draft someone. But we would definitely need to draft someone. In the last one, I wouldn't really want him, but this left tackle class for free agency is so bad that probably Jason Peters is my 3rd or 4th target. Not for much money, but he's still a decent tackle. And if we decide to draft someone in the 2nd or 3rd round, he can help develop him. That's like the biggest part. And he can, meanwhile, can still play good on our offensive line and help protect Dwayne Haskins. But that's really it. Maybe we could try to target someone in the draft, like if we get someone from a draft pick from Trent Williams, a 2nd round or a 3rd round pick, we can trade that up and try to get a Andrew Thomas in the 1st round if we get like 2 seconds, or we can trade a future 3rd, this year's 3rd, and like a 2nd maybe. Not too that much, but something like that to get in the middle of the 1st round to get a tackle, or we could stick with who we have. Another option is John Christian, but he is terrible. Last year he had the opportunity to get the starting left tackle role or job with Trent Williams holding out, but he couldn't even beat out Donald Penn or Robinson, who he signed. So because he was doing so bad in training camp, the Redskins were forced to sign Donald Penn to start. he this is his last straw. I think he honestly could be a candidate to be cut before the season starts if he does bad in the off season and training camp. If he's doing bad, I think he definitely could be someone that comes as a surprising cut because he just hasn't been good in the last couple of years with some injury concerns, but also he just hasn't lived up to expectations. We drafted him in the 3rd round. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for that Redskins Dream Offseason video. And yeah, peace out.